Now it's time for the interview, which provides all the information you need to know about the SMTOWN London Flashmob event taking place at the end of August. Take a listen, and then we'll be back with more music. Welcome to the show. Can you start by introducing yourself and explain when you first got into K-pop?
My name is Hebe Perry Belfridge. I'm 16 years old and I got into K-pop in 2010.
Can you please give details of the event date, time, location and where to get more details for listeners that may still want to get involved with this flash mob?
The event will be held on August the 31st in Trafalgar Square in London. It starts at 1 p.m. and more details can be found on my YouTube channel, which is the K-Pop Jang, THEKPOPJJANG.
What made you decide to get involved in doing a flash mob to get the attention of SMTOWN? And how many people are in the organisers group?
Well, in 2011, my friend Katie organised a YG flash mob in London, which was a huge success and was reported on in the national news in Korea. And since then, there have been some flash mobs that have been held just for fun. But having seen how successful both the YG flash mob has been and how successful other SMTOWN flash mobs have been around the world, we felt that it was time for the British fans to make their own contribution. There's 3 of us organising the event. There's myself, Jasmine Hippolyte and Bemi Fadia, and we will also have help on the day from Sammy Bark-Hadel and Andrea Arocha.
What sort of difficulties have you faced since starting the preparation work for this project?
We've had a few difficulties, but the main one has been ensuring that everyone involved gets all the information they need. Since the whole thing's being organised over social media, we can never be sure if people have actually read the posts and taken the information on board unless they actually like or comment on the post, which not many people do. This is quite worrying for us because we're always in the dark about how many people have actually acknowledged our posts, and we just hope that everyone is getting the relevant information.
Why choose SMTOWN only? And how come you decided to get this going now rather than earlier or maybe further down the line?
We decided on SMTOWN only for a few reasons. Firstly, because we knew how popular SM artists are in this country and how well received an SMTOWN concert would be, so we wanted to be able to bring the community of fans together and do something fun while still making a point. We've also seen how big of a story the 2011 YG flash mob was in Korea and how successful the other SMTOWN flash mobs have been in other countries. For example, there was an SMTOWN New York flash mob in July 2011, and this was a huge success, and New York fans actually got a concert from it, which happened in October 2011. And there have also been a few attempts at SMTOWN London flash mobs before, but we decided to do this one now because London is firmly in the world's view at the moment, having just hosted the Olympics and celebrated the Queen's Jubilee, and even just recently welcoming a new royal baby into the world. So we felt that now would be a good time because London is in the spotlight.
Do you think that perhaps the SMTOWN tour has not hit here yet because they're simply waiting for the launch of Girls' Generation's first English album next year?
I hadn't thought of that, but that could well be a reason, and that does seem like quite a clever marketing strategy actually. I think that at the moment SM is focusing more on Super Show and also building up more of a fan base for EXO since they're still a new group and the fan base is still growing. I am sure that SM is well aware of the international fan base though, and they will listen to us if we shout loud enough.
How did you decide upon the final list of songs for the dance routine?
Well, we wanted to strike a balance between popular and easy to learn, since we know that people of all abilities will be involved in this event. And we also appreciate that people are using their own time to prepare for this. So we wanted to make sure the routine wouldn't take too long to learn and take up too much time for people. For example, we decided that Super Junior's representative song should be Mr. Simple, because it is, as the name suggests, a simple dance to learn. And we also decided to include some songs that most people may not have heard, which were Kangta's Breaker Shaker and Dana and Sunday's One More Chant, because we wanted to show that we're aware of the lesser known artists under SM as well as the really popular ones. Admittedly, some people would have preferred that we'd chosen different songs, but we did expect that.
Do you feel nervous about dancing like this in public? Perhaps worried about the general public's reaction?
Well, personally, I'm more nervous about the flash mob running smoothly than actually dancing in public, since I've done it several times before. It can be a little nerve-wracking at first, but once everyone's kind of settled into the dance, it's fine because you know that the whole community is there with you. From my experience, the public reaction has always been one of either support or just general intrigue. So, although the idea of dancing in public seems scary, it is often much better than you think it will be.
What other flash mobs have you taken your inspiration from? Either fan ones or official artist ones?
Oh, well, of course there's the YG Flashmob and the SMTOWN New York Flashmob that I mentioned before, but fans in Vancouver also did a really good SMTOWN Flashmob. And the Russian and the Italian fans always do amazing Flashmobs, and if ours turns out to be even half as good as these ones, I will be a very happy girl.
Can people still get in touch and attend? How about those that are too shy or lacking in confidence about their dancing skills, but still want to show support?
Of course, this Flashmob is a community event and it's open to anyone who wants to be involved. If you're shy, don't worry, because we'll be organising people into a formation so that the less confident people won't feel like they've been thrown into the spotlight.
You mentioned that you have links with the Korean press and SMTOWN itself. Can you provide details of how much attention this event has already been getting? Also, who else have you contacted to get media attention, like in the British press, for example?
Well, I have confirmation from a freelance contact of mine who works with KBS and SBS that our event will be reported on if the producers approve. And I'm also talking to him about getting an article placed on their websites if the press can't make it to the actual event. And we also have contacts who can forward details of the event onto SM itself. And we've also contacted the BBC, Channel 4 and ITV about it, and we're awaiting reply from them.
Have any press confirmed definite attendance to provide coverage?
Unfortunately not yet, but as I said, we're waiting for a response from the British media, and we're yet to be told whether the producers at KBS or SBS want to be involved and cover this. Of course, it's out of our hands whether or not the producer wishes to cover a story like this, but we're still very hopeful that they'll be able to come, and we do have ways of getting the story out there and getting it to SM even if the press can't come.
Are you in touch with the various popular K-pop websites?
Well, we've had our event promoted by the team at United K-Pop, and I also occasionally write for a website called KPopConcerts.com, so I will hopefully be posting an article there in a few days.
In your opinion, why do you think K-pop has a better chance of success in the UK and Europe than J-pop?
Well, both are very popular, but I think perhaps K-pop has a slightly better chance because it's a little bit more familiar than J-pop, since it's more heavily influenced by Western pop music, so it's closer to what people already know. And although I hate to say it, I do think that the Gangnam Style phenomenon has been good for raising the profile of K-pop in Europe, and J-pop hasn't had an equivalent yet, so it's not as well known.
What sort of post-event work will you be doing to ensure this flash mob isn't forgotten and the effort doesn't go to waste?
We'll be creating a collection of videos about the project, including a kind of business pitch, if you like, explaining the reasons why we think an SMTOWN concert in London would not only be successful but beneficial to SM as a company as well. And we'll be spreading these videos around social media. And we will also be working with the Flashmob participants and the online K-pop communities afterwards. So we'll be doing things like providing them with fan chants and finding the best places to buy light sticks and other concert merchandise for if or when an SMTOWN London is announced.
Would you consider arranging another flash mob if this one goes better than expected?
Oh, definitely. Flash mobs are fun and they're really creative things to do, and I think it would be great if we were able to continue doing them.
Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to answer our questions. We wish you all the best of luck with the event, and perhaps we'll do a follow-up with you after it's taken place.
And this is a shout out to K-Pop Korner with Adam Riley, bringing the best of Korean pop to the entire world on turquoiseradio.com, the global online station with something for everyone.